Welcome back to Farm and Culture. We are in my home kitchen. Again, it's been a while since our last video, so I'm excited to kind of talk to you about carbonation, specifically natural carbonation. I've been getting some messages about how can I carbonate my kombucha, make it extra fizzy. That's definitely one of my favorite parts of kombucha. And it's, I would say, the holy grail of kombucha making. Getting those bubbles is not easy, but I do have some tips that I'm gonna share with you today. So let's start with just filtering your ready-made kombucha so that we can put it in a bottle, and that's when we focus on the carbonation portion. So here I have a little blend of hibiscus kombucha that is ready to go. It's like really strong. I can smell it from here. I always double strain just to filter out any of the extra scoby pieces. Chunky, but that's a good sign. You always want chunky kombucha. It means it's alive and it's growing and there's stuff happening. Okay, so once your kombucha is strained, then you want to go ahead and put it into a bottle. So depending on whatever kind of bottle you're using, this is just a little swing top bottle, which I like because they seal really tightly. And when you're carbonating, you don't want any air to escape. It's really important to have an airtight seal. So you just go ahead and fill the bottle. Okay, so this is tip 1. Fill the bottle as high as you can to the top. So the less of an air gap that you have in the bottle, the more easy it is to produce carbonation and not lose carbonation. So you want to get as close to the top as you can. And there's usually like a fill line. I would say the natural fill line is probably right here. I did a little bit extra. And that's the first tip. The second tip is to add some kind of sugar or sweetener that the kombucha can feed off of while it's sitting. So there's 2 ways to do that. You can add a little bit of organic cane sugar. So you just want to add like a little bit of 1/4 of a teaspoon, maybe even less. I mean, you do not need much. So you just add that into the top. Or you can use honey. This is like probably my most favorite way to add natural carbonation because there's a lot of health benefits to honey, and especially a raw, unpasteurized honey is very active on its own. So you just want to get the lid on. The swing top bottle is nice and tight. Then what you want to do is make sure you kind of turn it so the sugar gets dispersed. And then you want to let this sit at room temperature for 24 to 48 hours. And a lot of that depends on how active your brew is, because they're all different. Dealing with a natural product, you really kind of have to just use your eyes to figure a lot of this stuff out. And then also the room temperature is going to make a big difference too. So right now it's like, it's really warm. We're in the middle of summer. So I can probably get away with 24-hour carbonation at room temperature. But in the colder months, you just kind of want to go a little bit longer. And you'll be able to start seeing the bubbles form after, a couple of hours, definitely 48. And then it just depends on how carbonated you want your kombucha to be. And then that's it. So once you're done and you do not want any more carbonation, you want to go ahead and put this bottle into refrigeration, and the cool temperature will slow all of the fermentation down and just kind of put a hold on all of the processes. So that's it. So hopefully that helps with all of your natural carbonation questions. I'm sure you may have more. If anything comes to mind, go ahead and feel free to send me a message on social media. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment. That's a great way for me to figure out what you guys are needing to know. And then there's always the newsletter. So farmandculture.com, sign up for the newsletter, and we'll send you all of our little tips and tricks about kombucha making.